Summit 2025. My name is Keya Hammond, and I have been working in SaaS technology for over 15 plus years. I won't say the number that comes after the plus, but needless to say, it's been a long time. And my expertise is in business operations and product management. My background spans across industries such as big data, financial services, as well as telecom. And so I currently serve as a principal consultant at ProThinkers. And today I'm here to talk to you about analytic growth strategies. So how do you leverage data analytics to identify and capitalize on untapped opportunities in the market? So towards the end of this presentation, you will have the opportunity to participate and analyze a case study to assess your ability to leverage data to identify potential growth strategies. So let's get started. Okay. In my career journey, I have seen many products and releases go out into the world, and most organizations have a deep focus on interdepartmental processes. For example, engineering has books and websites and training dedicated to different agile frameworks. Sales has forecasting practices, and marketing has different research processes, and there's a real discipline in those areas. But there does seem to be a missing link. What if we broke down these departmental silos to foster a true sense of collaboration? What if we brought all these talented individuals together with their expertise, with their data, with their insights, and analyzed them collectively? So by combining the expertise of product management, of sales, marketing, and customer success, we can gain a very deep understanding of our customer, of our markets, and what we need to do next to unlock those growth opportunities. These meetings are known variously depending on your organization and the industry as new product introduction or go-to-market alignment. All of these are aimed to unify these data analytics to drive informed decision making and foster growth. So, what does that look like? Well, of course, the goal is to identify identify actions that drive growth. So, how do you do that? Well, each member of the cross-functional team contributes their unique data elements, insights, and expertise. And the cross-functional team sits together and collaboratively analyze these data sets to generate insights or theories. These theories drive actions that drive growth. And of course, the outcome of these actions are then fed back into the data set, creating a feedback loop that fuels continuous improvement. So when I say data, we often think of quantitative, statistical insights. Those are very common, but I think often people miss out on the qualitative insights, things that aren't just statistics, but provide context for your data. So, what is an example of that? So, for instance, we had observed a significant decline in product usage within a particular month. And we went to the product marketing and sales team, and they went, yeah, this is just a quarter that tends to be slow. People tend not to look at it. And moreover, there was an isolated market disruption that was happening. That's the power of getting these various stakeholders together. So while quantitative data is critical to remove bias and provide outcomes, qualitative insights provide nuance and context. Lindsay Rios has a session where she's going to talk more about the power of qualitative insights. And I suggest if this is something that interests you, you look to her presentation. So the most effective way to learn is by doing. So I've created a few case studies. Each of case studies are based on real life scenarios that I have encountered over my a multi-year career, and the names and the data and the products have been changed to protect the innocent. But what I'm hoping you will do is look at the data, analyze it, and figure out what you would do and where you see the strategic growth opportunities. Okay, so our first scenario. A mobile application release for streaming and video content was launched on the Apple platform in April, and we decided to launch an Android version in August. Marketing and sales effort had been exclusively concentrated in the North American market, resulting in significant penetration exceeding all initial expectations, and all key adoption KPI targets had been met or surpassed, and customer testimonials had been overwhelmingly positive. This excerpt report from December continues to exceed expectations. So, the question to you: what are the next best actions for this NPI team based on this dashboard? So, at this point, pause the video, look through some of the data elements, and see what you think the next best action is. So, following this successful rollout, what actually happened is the team had been doing these MPIs on a regular basis, and they really just wanted to declare victory and move on to the next project. However, we had an exceptional product manager, a product marketing leader, who pointed out a trend in emerging markets that he was seeing, specifically in Asia Pac. And he wisely suggested that the product management team analyze the data by region. And we did see, as you can see on the graph, this increase, especially when we did the Android release in the Asia Pac market, and we discovered significant traction that seemed to align with this release. And so the analysis revealed this untapped market that we eventually took advantage of in earnest and saw double-digit growth. So it was really exciting. So did you find that insight? Well, I'm sure you probably found others, but let's move on to case study number 2. A company is transitioning its legacy product to new product. We're going to call it legacy product and new product as part of its technology strategic roadmap. What really happened is we were moving off of hardware towards software releases and taking advantage of cloud technology. So while the initial performance of the new product software release was slightly below target, it showed steady growth. However, over the past 5 months, sales has slowed significantly despite an increase in lead generation. So, what are the next best actions for the team based on this dashboard? And I have a hint. So if you don't want the hint, go ahead and pause the video now. So for those of you who want the hint, there was a restructuring in sales and marketing department at the end of July. So it's your turn to pause the video if you'd like to analyze the data. So this case study was very, very interesting, and it highlighted an interesting challenge. During cross-functional collaboration meetings, there was lots of feedback that emerged regarding the slow sales of the new product, and despite conducting customer interviews, we even implemented product updates, sales just remained stagnant, and further investigation revealed a key factor. While the sales leadership enthusiastically supported this new product, the restructured team was accustomed and, quite frankly, didn't get a lot of training on the new product. They were accustomed to selling the legacy products, and they exhibited a subtle resistance. So to address this, we implemented a brand new rollout strategy, which included comprehensive training on both the new technology as well as the new product for the sales team. We also implemented sales incentives to motivate the team to actively promote and sell the new product compared to the legacy version. So this approach ultimately led to significant increase in sales of our new product. So what are the key takeaways? Well, agility is paramount, and we need a robust process for reviewing data. The review is not the key. The key are the actions you take based on the review. When you go into these meetings, it is paramount that you say, what are the actions that we're going to implement to change course and evolve to our customer needs, our market trends, as well as technological advancements? Data balance is crucial. Qualitative data provides context and nuance to quantitative findings, so you need both. And of course, cross functional data integration is essential. And when I say data, I mean the data, but also the experts who can actually give you context. These are the vital elements to drive successful outcomes. And of course, direct customer interaction is invaluable. I could do a whole summit on just customer interactions. I've observed instances where teams spent uh, hours and hours theorizing on what they should do or could do or what they should have implemented. There's nothing more valuable than just asking your customer. I hope you've enjoyed the exploration of data with me, and I would love to hear your thoughts and perspectives. I hope that you will connect with me and share your insights. I really look forward to hearing from you and enjoy the rest of Rev Summit 2025. Thank you.